What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Death by Video. I am your host as always, Jared. Back here with another honest reaction. Now today's video I wasn't going to do because after I did my last Kim Dracula video of 70 Thorns, I said I wasn't gonna review any more Kim Dracula because I wanted to go down that rabbit hole. But I got a bunch of people in the comments telling me that Drown is their favorite Kim Dracula song, and that it's kind of like almost like a trilogy or a trifecta that they're saying I have to complete. I might as well go forward and finish the trilogy. So, you know, what would Star Wars be without Return of the Jedi? You know, we'll see if it is the second best of the original trilogy. Actually, no, I'd say it kind of goes Empire, New Hope, Return of the Jedi. But we'll see which one that Drown fits in along the hierarchy of the trilogy. The first two songs I've listened to by Count Dracula by Kim Dracula have been smash you in the face awesome. Like Make Me Famous was amazing. That I was all over the place. Same with 70 Thorns. They're both kind of very intermixing with the different genres, which I think is cool as long as they mesh well together, which so far what I've seen from Kim Dracula, I like how it meshes. It might be a little bit abrupt in some spots, but it does mesh well, if you ask me. I've seen a couple other people react to those videos, and they're more traditional metalheads, I guess, like more the old school, and they just couldn't really get it. But I try to keep an open mind. So if I didn't, I wouldn't be so into Kim Dracula as I am, because it's definitely out there, but it's awesome. The thumbnail again looks creepy as hell, just like all of his other thumbnails. But in this one, Kim Dracula's face is like covered in a bunch of bandages with the eye black around it. It really reminds me of an old Marilyn Manson video, quite a bit. So we'll see if those vibes continue. If it is kind of like a Marilyn Manson song, who knows? Yeah, some of his songs always have a little bit of a little part that's kind of a Marilyn Manson-y type section. So we'll see if that happens with this one here too. So without any further ado, here is the reaction for Kim Dracula, Drown. Let me plug in my headphones first. Oh, that's a different glove. Oh, it's got the Make Me Famous video. And I think that's a kitty shot in the Make Me Famous video, if I'm not mistaken. I think it is. I think they could have that mole. And you smiled for the last time. Oh, it's got like a harmonic there. That was nice. It's got a good voice. Oh, I like that. Nice and mellow. It's a little different than his other songs. I'm not fucking around. Oh, yeah. Man, his voice just continues to amaze me. Okay, so far what I'm seeing from this video, it seems like it's a bit more of a melodic approach than they've taken in their other two singles. Started off kind of mellow, a little bit of a hip hop beat underneath. I really liked his voice at the start there. He kind of had that. He had a little bit of a harmonic where he kind of raised his voice a little bit while he was singing, and man, he just continues to show me little nuanced things about their voice and what they can do, and it just continues to impress me. I know I keep saying that about Kim Dracula, but they keep doing it, so let's keep doing it. Oh, here comes some weird stuff. Oh yeah. What the? Oh, that's weird. Oh, he's got like policeman slaves. That's awesome. Of course, you gotta have Kim Dracula. Oh. You know, that part of that song, it sounds like an old Silverchair song, which maybe Kim Dracula is influenced by Silverchair. I don't know if any of you guys know Silverchair. They were an amazing, like, I guess they started out as kind of a grunge band in the mid '90s and kind of progressed their sound up through the early 2000s. They didn't stay together for too much longer after that, but they were hugely influential. And with me, I listened to Silverchair a lot when I was in high school. They were one of my favorite bands, but they're also Australian, which would lead me to believe that Kim Dracula's probably heard Silverchair. So that what's the song? It's off of a soundtrack, but it's not off of one of Silverchair's albums. I think is it Blind? Yeah, because I think the parts he's singing is I'm blind, and I think that's the part that kind of reminds me of that. I think that's what song it is anyway. Anyways, enough about Silverchair. We're talking about Kim Dracula here, but I just wanted to say you can definitely tell he's influenced by a lot of different artists, and perhaps Silverchair being one of them. But anyways, let's get back into it. Again, an awesome video. Eyes look really creepy. Okay, what's gonna happen here? Oh, it's gonna probably explode here. Oh, okay, goes back into the chorus. I like this chorus though. It's pretty killer, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Oh, that's it, eh? I thought there might have been more to it. Oh, hey.
Hello, Dracula.
Oh, no way. It's the cop from the Make Me Famous video. Okay. Alright, okay, so Drowned by Kim Dracula. Again, does not fail to impress, as always. This song was definitely more melodic than Make Me Famous or 70 Thorns. It definitely wasn't as all over the place. It had a better flow. It did. I got to admit that to it. I'm not gonna say it's my favorite Kim Dracula song. I still got to give that to Make Me Famous. I like the hard-hitting, in-your-face type of stuff, especially when I'm first getting into an artist. Once I've had a little bit more time to chew on their work, a lot of times their more mellower, melodic stuff will kind of come to the more forefront of what I consider my favorites. Vocally, they sound great. Like I said earlier, they had that little harmonic at the beginning, and just the power and intensity that Kim Dracula sings within this song. It just kind of shows me that they've got more than just the shock value, you know. There's some pretty legitimate vocal talent here, and talent all around. If Kim Dracula, I don't know if they write these songs with the band or if Kim Dracula writes these songs themselves, but either way, there's definitely some legit talent in this band, and I can't wait for what else comes after this. Speaking of that, I did read that Kim Dracula is going to be releasing an album fairly soon, and I also heard or read that this is what people were thinking anyways, and it makes sense that 70 Thorns is the first single from that album, which we'll see, because it is a collaboration with Jonathan Davis. So usually somebody's first single off an album you wouldn't think would be a collaboration, but it's 2023. Kim Dracula came from TikTok. All previous rules are thrown out the window at this point. So, and from what we've seen from their music, they've thrown out the rule book and just kind of did their own thing, which is awesome. We need this in this day and age. I know I've talked about nu metal and how I don't really have the greatest relationship with nu metal because I just kind of soured to it when I was younger. But at that time, metal was super stale, and those bands kind of brought a different generation into heavier music, myself included, which eventually I broke away from the nu metal and got into more traditional like metalcore, death metal, like thrash metal stuff. I've gotten a lot more into that since then, just because I think instrumentally I find it much more interesting. But like I said, nu metal definitely played its part in keeping metal going, because the late 90s or mid to late 90s, metal was in pretty rough shape. You know, Metallica had come out with Load, which was a hard rock album, and even previous to that, they came out with the Black Album, which is kind of a hard rock album too. But you know, that was kind of like the end of the thrash era. They kind of brought it down with them. Like, yeah, there were still bands like Megadeth and stuff like that kicking out tracks, which they still are, which are fucking awesome. But in that time, metal was kind of frowned upon, even though, like, you know, it's always going to have that little bit of a stigma to it. But back then, it was kind of dead, you know. But then bands like Korn and other nu metal artists really kind of brought heavy music to a younger generation at that time, and I'm actually quite grateful that they did what they did, even if I kind of might shit on their music a little bit now. Now, production-wise, the sound, of course, is always awesome. That's one thing I gotta actually say. I'm really impressed with Kim Dracula. Like, this is, I believe, their third like major single. I know that they had a few other singles that were like really underground releases. I know this one is with a legit record producer. Oh, excuse me, with a legit record production company. But they have their sound very dialed in. You see some bands that come out and they don't really get their sound nice and crisp and dialed in for until they're a few albums in, and their sound is just so nice and so perfect, really. So that said, where does Drown fall in the Star Wars trilogy analogy? I would still have to say it is Return of the Jedi, but Return of the Jedi was a great fucking movie. Even though it might be the third best one of the original trilogy, it was still pretty awesome, and I don't know, I always wanted to be an Ewok when I grew up, so doesn't mean I want to be a police manslave when I grow up, but that's another thing I wanted to talk about too, is not the police manslaves specifically, but there was at the beginning of the video, they showed the Make Me Famous video was playing in the airplane, and I'm pretty sure that was the kid that he shot in the video in the airplane. And then at the end, he got in, Kim Dracula got in the cop car, and it was that same cop from the Make Me Famous video that kind of toured him around and brought him on a shooting spree. So that leads me to believe this is kind of this might be a theme going forward in Kim Dracula's work, where we might see that cop and that kid again, kind of telling a different narrative as they go along. Like each song's going to have its own narrative, but it does seem that they are following a bit of a theme with incorporating their previous videos into their new ones, and kind of a bit of a continuation of the story. But that's all I've got today for Kim Dracula. I do want you guys to keep sending me the requests. I'm not gonna review any more of Kim Dracula for right now, because they do have a new album coming out. So I'm gonna wait till maybe some singles from that come out. But until then, I really got to go down the Kim Dracula rabbit hole. It's taken some legit willpower to not do it. So if you guys have a problem with that, I'm sorry. But I do want to keep doing some more, reviewing some new artists. So if you guys have any new suggestions of any different artists, because so far I've done the 3 Kim Draculas, and I've done Electric Callboy, which I do plan to do more Electric Callboy, because their stuff was pretty cool. But if you got some different artists that you guys are really into, or that you see are kind of up and coming and might kind of be players on the scene, make sure to shoot me a message so I can go ahead and react to them and see whether I like it, because that's what this is all about. I'm trying to find music that I like, and that kind of broadens my horizons a little bit. Before I head out, I just want to really thank everybody for the support. I'm up to almost 1,000 views overall across my channel, which I feel pretty good about. I just started it a few days ago. We've just got a few videos, and last I checked, I think we were at 27 subscribers. So last time I gave an update, I think we were only at 11. So I'm really happy with the way the channel's going and the response I've gotten from all you guys out there. So I want you to know that it definitely is very appreciated, and that I'm going to keep on going as long as you guys keep on watching. So that's all I've got for today. Until next time, catch you guys later.